Hi, my name is Alex, and together with Lucian, we are building Comoon, the no-code analytics platform for Web3 communities. Web3 is still a massive opportunity. What this graph is showing is that crypto adoption is following the very similar path like internet adoption did in the 90s. So according to most predictions, there will be over 1 billion crypto users by the year 2026. And with the increasing adoption, there are more and more Web3 communities that are being built, like NFT projects, decentralized autonomous organizations, and other communities. So today, there are over 150,000 Web3 communities already. With the increasing crypto adoption, there is also more money flowing into the crypto communities. So last year and this year, year to date, over 50 billion euro have been invested into crypto projects. So this money will need to be spent, and part of this money will be spent on growing these Web3 communities. The problem is that the existing marketing and tech stack is not made for Web3 data. So Web3 communities are not only active on social media platforms, but Web3 users are also using the wallets as a key primitive. So there's also a footprint on blockchain, and existing analytics, CRM, and messaging solutions are not apt to deal with this kind of data. This leads to a lot of problems for people that have to manage these communities. There are community managers, and so one problem these community managers have is that these communities are extremely noisy. So very often Web3 communities take place on Discord. Discord is something very similar to Slack, but it's permissionless, so everyone can enter. And there is a lot of scam going on. These communities are active 24/7, so as a community manager, it's very difficult to distinguish signal from the noise. On the other hand, there is very little relevant data that community managers can use to grow and engage the communities. So most on-chain analytics tools like Dune or Nansen are made for investment use cases, not to manage communities. And the last point, and we talked to over 50 community managers in the last months, and the pain point number one is that they lack the time to humanly engage with their communities because they are drowned in repetitive tasks. These are the problems you want to address with Comoon. With Comoon, we are building a no-code analytics platform that can be used by non-technical people like community managers. And what we basically do is we connect different data sources, so both data that comes from the blockchain, but also off-chain data, so mainly from social media platforms like Twitter and Discord, and we make them easily accessible in a web application, so community managers and project leaders can use this data in order to A, track the community polls across different platforms, and also B, we enable them to make use of the data to grow and engage community. And lastly, we also help them to automate repetitive tasks so they can actually save time. So how does it look in real life? So we already have an alpha product live with first test users. And as mentioned, so it's a web application that includes data from Discord, Twitter, and Ethereum data. And what you see here is an excerpt for how it looks like. And for example, so what our test users can do is, for example, they can identify any peaks in the data. So last week, one of our users had over 250 new users on the Discord. And with our app, they could immediately see what was happening. And we actually also helped them to drill down who the users are. So they can check, okay, were they scammers, were they bots, or were they actually real users? And with our app, they can also export the data, share it with their team, and they don't need to consolidate information across different platforms. Where do we stand today? So 2 months after incorporating Comoon, we have our alpha product live. We are onboarding new users every week. And we managed to generate over 55 projects for our waiting list, pure organically, so just via engaging with the community and writing Twitter content. So our main test users that we're currently also developing new features, like a weekly reporting feature, is Royal Labs. So Royal Labs has a community of over 500,000 members. They help launching over 20 NFT projects. They're building an own product themselves. And so we're extremely happy to engage with Royal Labs and further developing our product. And lastly, in addition to Entler, we also got the embracement from some of the leading ecosystem players, like, for example, Alchemy. Alchemy is one of the most successful blockchain infrastructure developers that we use to build our tool, and we also got a grant for them. And we got invited to speak at the NFT London in November, where we will engage with the NFT and the Web3 community and how we can help growing the communities via data. Where are we going from here? So in November, and our key milestone now is to launch our beta that we will combine with our performance at the NFT London. And we are planning to launch our public product towards April next year, where we want to include further features like AI, sentiment analysis, and integrate further on-chain and off-chain services. Now, I'm building Comoon together with Lucian. So Lucian has over 20 years of engineering experience of some of the leading e-commerce players like MyTheresa and Groupon. And he's deeply involved in the Cardano ecosystem. So last year, he launched an NFT marketplace and has built an own community for that. Myself, I started my career in management consulting at BCG, where I was mostly working on analytics topics for global brands. And the last years, I helped scaling some of the leading tech ventures in Berlin. So both Lucian and I, we are extremely passionate about Web3 communities. We spent a lot of time engaging with them in the last year. And we want to help Web3 builders to build healthier communities. Thank you for your attention. We are extremely looking forward to further engaging with you and share more information about what we're planning to build with Comoon. Thank you for your time.
I've always been a software engineer. I loved the blockchain technology ever since it came out. So I knew I always wanted to build in the space. Last year, I luckily had this chance. I'm an active Cardano community member. I wanted to build an NFT marketplace for Cardano blockchain. I did that. It was a successful product. The biggest learning was on the community side. We learned that building a community is hard, and not only this, but also what comes after. So to know who your community members are and how to engage with the community, it's key to a successful product. That's how we decided now to build Comoon, to give project owners and community managers a chance to introspect their community and to better engage with them.
Yeah, for me it was a little bit different. So I always liked working with data. So I studied economics and econometrics. And actually also before Comoon, I was validating a business idea in the analytics space, but it was in a different industry. And for me, so why Web3? So I've been investing in crypto for a while, but I never really liked the financial aspects of it too much. But when last year new use cases came up, like DAOs and NFT projects, it really captivated me. So, and I still think we are very early and there are so many opportunities. So that's why I decided to build in the space. So, I mean, obviously, community is not a pure Web3 concept. So also in Web2, there have been communities in a while and also community management tools. And like, for example, if you have a developer community on Slack, there are tools that help you to manage them. What these tools don't have is any on-chain primitives, or they're not able to query and process on-chain data, which we can obviously do. And then there are also analytics tools like Dune and Nansen. But these tools, they only look at on-chain data and they do not include any social metrics, which our tool can do. And then we are very early that first Web3 native community management and analytics tools show up. And yeah, we looked at all of them. And what we do differently is we really look at our user, and our users are non-technical. So we put a lot of effort into making the UX very easy to handle. Yeah, that's one of the key differentiators.
Okay, when it comes to technicalities, I think I've learned from my huge experience that performance is a key factor in a successful product. We work with multiple data endpoints, both on-chain and off-chain, and we take very special care that each phase of the data workflow on our product is treated with special care, that we deliver a very performant product. The second part, I would say, is scalability. So not only that we have to be careful how we ship the products, that we have a fast MVP out, but also how we make it scalable for a successful SaaS product later on.